to do it.
Well, you're quite correct. I'm just going to go through a litany of a list of specific things to help the economy. But before I go to that, I think we ought to set the stage here. There was a lot of talk in the previous hour about deficits and where the deficits came from.
Oh, brother.
Oh, brother. Where did the deficits come from? Well, first of all, let's understand that public policy doesn't change the moment a president comes into office. There is the continuity of the previous year's policies that stay in effect for a while until those are changed. And even then, it isn't an immediate night to day. It takes a while for the policies to go into effect. And so the charts that were shown earlier are just plain disingenuous, if not outright false. The George W. Bush administration came into office with a significant surplus that was created in the last 3 years of the Clinton administration. I think it was about $500 million annual surplus that was projected to go on into the future. The George W. Bush administration, together with the Republican-controlled Congress and Senate, did 4 things that created the deficit that we have today, that the Republicans want to pin back onto Obama and the Democrats. Here are the 4 things they did. First of all, they instituted one of the largest tax cuts ever in American history for the wealthiest 10% of Americans. Not the everyday workers, not the people that are out earning a salary day by day or an hourly wage, but for the wealthiest. Fact 1. Fact 2. The prescription drug benefit for seniors was not paid for, and they specifically put in a provision that prevents the federal government from negotiating prices with the pharmaceutical companies. Fact number 3. 2 wars started and paid for with borrowed money. A most unusual event. Borrowed money. Reducing taxes, start 2 wars, that's fact 3. Right now, those wars have cost us well over $1 trillion, nearly $1,100 billion. Fact number 4 is that the continuing escalation of health care costs. Okay, those are the 4 reasons why we have the deficit today. Let me give you a 5th reason. The 5th reason is the crash of the American economy. The crash of the American economy. Those all happened during the George W. Bush administration, and they didn't stop the day Obama came into office. We're now changing those policies. For example, the health care reform that not one Republican in this House voted for, not one, will over its lifetime actually reduce the deficit because it reins in the cost of medical care. In my view, not enough, but nonetheless does that. Secondly, the other policies have been allowed to continue. Now, the tax policies of the Bush administration will expire. That'll help. And the prescription drug benefit, we're working on that. That was part of the health reform also. The wars continue. Fortunately, the Iraq war is winding down while the Afghan war escalates. So we need to understand how we got to this place where we are today and how we got there with the basic policies where the Clinton administration left a surplus, a continuing surplus for the George W. Bush administration, and had they not changed the policies, it is estimated that by the middle of this decade, we would wipe out the American debt. Period. Gone. History. But no, they changed the policies, and now we're saddled with this debt. The crash of this economy was caused by reckless action on the part of Wall Street. Reckless, irresponsible action on the part of Wall Street. Basically driven by the grossest greed you could possibly imagine. All kinds of inducements to homeowners to engage in mortgages that there is no way they could possibly pay. I know that you're faced with this in your community. and action taken on this floor not more than 5 hours ago. We're coming to that in just a moment. But to share with us the experiences in your community about mortgages, about all of the problems of the housing industry and the crash and what's happened in your community.
If the